So I think the Bitcoin halving is actually to do with the macro cycle. It's the debt refi cycle that happened in 2008. In 2008, we had a great reset of debt. What happened is every central bank, major central bank around the world said, right, nobody needs to pay interest. Interest rates are zero. Okay, that was fascinating. Then they kind of agreed that nobody was going to pay off debts. So they just keep rolling them. And what they did is back in 2008, they all issued debt between 3 and 5 years. That kind of 4-year midpoint is the halving cycle because Bitcoin launched at the same time. So they're coincidental. Now, maybe it's one of the reasons Bitcoin can outperform because of it, but really the cycle is a macro cycle, which is really important for people to understand. But you can still use the Bitcoin halving cycle because it's the same timing. So it makes no difference. You don't have to over-intellectualize it. It's just like, yeah, generally 2024 should be an up year unless something dramatically has changed.
Raoul Pal is the CEO of The Real Vision, that is a company all about finance. In his recent interview with Altcoin Daily, he talks about the future of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also he mentioned that why he is bullish on Solana. Solana is a cryptocurrency that in nowadays are getting very famous, and also his price is getting well. In this video, Raoul Pal also talks about his strategies in 2024 and how he will handle the 2024. Lots of expertise says 2024 is the year of crypto. Continue watching as he describes everything. Not forget to like and subscribe if you liked our videos. We will share crypto news from Monday till Saturday.
I don't know. I'm so scarred from trying to give outlooks, and then, it becomes this obsession that people want to beat you with. So look, I'm very positive. Obviously, I think we go well through new all-time highs. I think the whole ecosystem of crypto, we go from 425 million users where we are today. I think the end of this cycle will be 1 billion users by the kind of use cases we've talked about. Don't forget, we've got CBDCs, stable coins. There's a lot going on still. So, if the entire space is going to grow 2.5x in number of users, well, market cap of the entire space is 5 or 10x. So, you can figure it out from where that is. So, yeah, look, I'm just very positive. And then let's see how people value layer 2s in this. We don't really know how value 2s accrue as much value. Do we have to have a massive amount of transactions? In which case, then you need stuff like Ticketmaster with millions and millions and millions of transactions to drive value to those chains because they batch them and then batch them down to ETH. So look, it's super fascinating. But yeah, I don't see anything different this cycle than we've seen in other cycles for any particular reason. So I observe the space, kind of try and step back from it, because too many people get too involved with what they like because they like it and they're part of that thing. But I just observe Solana, and I think I've mentioned it in the show before, is like, I see Tolly as a thought leader. He's accepting of others around him. He builds bridges, doesn't destroy them. I see a very engaged developer community, and people are really, really passionate about building their ecosystem and building their technology. So, and there's a lot of people who use it, and there's a lot of public awareness of the chain. So why Visa using Solana? It's because it's fast. It's fast. It does a good job. It's not Ethereum. It's different to Ethereum. And even the way that Tolly has been talking about, could Sol be a layer 2 on ETH? Or, how do these worlds integrate? Just shows that, for Visa to make a wrong decision is not that easy, because things can be bridged, things can be interoperable, life can move on. So, I've just been observing that, and the Solana space has not put a foot wrong for a long time now, just when everybody had maximum fear and hate over the space. Now, also, you're getting rid of the FTX overhang. The thing that people didn't like is that FTX was such a big owner of, well, that goes as well. So for me, it's a great story. It's still probably the best major story in the space outside of Ethereum, because Ethereum's the big daddy. But if we're looking at the next stage down, where's the next altcoin that has relative security in it? You're not taking a wild guess. You're not saying, yeah, helium's going to go up 1,000x. You might be right, might be wrong. But Solana, if the space grows, will Solana do well? Probably. It's a smaller chain, so $100 of capital in Solana will move the price more than $100 of capital in ETH versus $100 of capital. So its liquidity drives it higher, and the higher it goes up, obviously, the more people are interested in the chain as well. So it feels the right thing. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're seeing a lot of the non-core candidates lean into this audience. Now, you've got to be cynical. They're just buying your votes, right? They're telling you what you want to hear because they want to get your votes. But we're seeing it on the left and the right that there's a leaning into crypto to capture that voter audience who are single issue voters. It's a good thing. Net, we know that the political tide is turning. So we had the massive pushback, and then the tide is going back again as the system pushes against it. So, I'm very encouraged by that. It was very frustrating to see the US operate in the way that it did versus other countries who've done a much better job of this. But it feels that maybe the political system will force them to change. And, just stuff like the BlackRock ETF and what happens with the ETF, stuff like that. These are net positives, particularly for 2024. I had that thesis for this cycle. So, having been around and see a few of these cycles, I wasn't that fussed by it. Nobody likes it, obviously. But, you just think, well, great. If I've got cash, then I can buy at the bottom of the big uptrend. And, I'm just going to compound over time. So it's difficult because we all learn lots of different lessons as we go. But are they applicable this time around? It's like before, it's like, I don't really know what NFTs I could buy and how to get that right.